Hey, how's it going, everyone? My name is Matthew Diolis of Shadowframe Productions. Let's talk movies. 2019, the last year of the decade. It was a great year for movies, and these are my 10 favorites. Parasite. What a crazy movie this was. It's going one direction, and it's a real interesting direction, and then all of a sudden it takes a left turn, and the little twist midway through is just fantastic, and I just love the direction this movie went, and I love how batshit crazy the ending is. 1917. I'm a big fan of the one-shot movies like Birdman, where they made an entire movie look like one shot, and this follows that recipe. Sam Mendes, American Beauty, Skyfall, but seeing the trailer, I wasn't really interested in seeing it. I was like, another war movie. I'm not. I'll see it down the road, I guess, but not really interested. The one thing that got me interested was hearing that it was made to look like one shot. And Roger Deakins, one of the greatest cinematographers of all time. But all that aside, the story really gets you invested in these two soldiers and their mission. Number 8, Knives Out. Rian Johnson, at one point the most hated man in the world for directing a great movie, The Last Jedi, but this movie proves again that Rian Johnson is a pretty good writer-director. This movie's a nice throwback to all the great murder mysteries and whodunit mysteries from the past. A really nice, original take on an old concept. And then I started painting houses myself. The Irishman. I mean, what can I say about this movie that hasn't already been said? Martin Scorsese, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino. Joe Pesci is so good in this movie. Joe Pesci is so subtle and so great in this movie. I think it might be his best performance. It's fantastic. A little long. It'd be nice if this movie was under 3 hours, but thinking back on it, I'm not sure exactly what I'd cut out, but a little long. It goes in line with Goodfellas or Casino. It just feels like the third part of that trilogy. Say it. Say my number 6 favorite movie of 2019. I don't know what the hell it is. Yeah, you do. Say it. El Camino. You're goddamn right. Yep, El Camino. Loved Breaking Bad. The final episode of Breaking Bad was like Walter White's episode. It was Walter White's closure. He tied up all his loose ends, and it gave him closure with his family and all that. This movie was for Jesse. This was Jesse's way to get closure, and Jesse's way to wrap up all his loose ends. Loved it. This next movie was excellent. One of the best movies of the year, one of the best performances of the year, Adam Sandler in Uncut Gems. This movie is like a rubber band that just keeps stretching and stretching and stretching, and the tension keeps stretching and stretching and stretching and stretching and stretching the entire movie. The entire movie is so tension-filled and just, it's just insane. And if you're a gambler, you'll love this movie. The original Iron Man started it, and this movie brings everything to a close. Avengers Assemble, Avengers Endgame. I'm really curious to see where the MCU goes from here. This was a nice ending to all the character arcs and to this huge story that the MCU set up. Okay, 3 movies left, so let's bring back the Shadowframies. You know, bring back the music. Let's keep the music rolling. Yeah. Mr. Golden Skeleton is going to go to one of these 3 movies. One of the greatest acting performances ever. Ever. Not just this year. Ever. Joker. Joaquin Phoenix didn't exist in this movie. The Joker did. Rambo. Last Blood. There's not one movie in this series that I don't love. There's some that are better than others. The last 20 minutes of this movie is maybe the most violent you're ever going to see in your entire life. A fitting final chapter to one of cinema's greatest characters. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Rick Dalton, Cliff Booth. This movie is just absolutely fantastic. It's so rewatchable. It has so many classic lines, so many great moments, and maybe the greatest ending to any movie ever. Those damn hippies had it coming. And the Shadowframie for 2019 goes to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Rick Dalton, baby, Bounty Law! Okay, thanks for watching. That was my favorite movies of 2019, and I will see you next year.